The acrid bite of gunpowder still clings to my nostrils as I spur my gelding into the night, the thunder of hooves pounding like accusations in my chest. Cheyenne's dusty streets fade behind me, swallowed by the Wyoming dark. But the echoes don't 6 shots cracking the saloon's back door, the wet slap of lead into flesh. My partner's gasp turning to a gurgle as he slumps against the whiskey barrels we'd never empty. Wyatt, ... why? He'd wheezed, blood bubbling from his lips, betrayal etching deeper than any knife. It wasn't supposed to go like this. A quick rustle, a fat herd from the parquet spread, easy money to wash away the debts gnawing at my bones. But Harlan Slade's boys had been waiting. Shadows in the moonless alley, and now Tom's dead, and I'm the fool galloping toward the horizon with a ghost on my back. I don't stop till the Bighorn Mountains rise like jagged teeth against the pre-dawn sky. Their shadows promising secrets the law can't touch. My lungs burn, horse-lathered and trembling beneath me. But I push on, the weight of that betrayal heavier than the saddlebags slung low with stolen silver. Redemption. Hell, I ain't sure I deserve it, but solitude's the closest thing to absolution a man like me can claim. Words out by now Wyatt Kane, the drifter who turned on his own for a handful of coins. They'll hang me if they catch me, string me up from the nearest cottonwood and let the crows peck at what the rope leaves. But out here, in the endless sagebrush, where the wind howls like a lonesome widow, maybe I can outrun the man staring back from Muddy Creek reflections, scarred from too many bar fights and bad choices. Heart calloused, thicker than boot leather, the ranch materializes from the mist like a half-forgotten dream abandoned. These 5 years since old man Hargrove ate his shotgun over a busted drought. Weathered timbers lean against the wind, the corral sagging like a drunk's grin. But it's mine now, claimed with a forged deed and a prayer to whatever God watches over outlaws. I dismount, legs numb as I lead the horse to the trough, the water rippling black under starlight. The air's crisp, laced with pine and earth, and for the first time since Cheyenne, my shoulders ease a fraction. This stretch of prairie, tucked in the Bighorn's shadow, feels like a confessional booth with no priest to judge. I'll mend fences, break a few broncs, let the rhythm of hard labor sand down the edges of my regrets. No more deals in smoke-filled back rooms, no more eyes watching my draw. Just me, the land, and the ghosts I carry. Dawn cracks the sky with reluctant fingers of pink, frosting the sage in silver. I brew coffee on the Castian stove in the bunkhouse, strong as regret. Black as sin and step onto the porch, mug steaming in my calloused grip. The world's holding its breath. Birds silent, wind hushed. The vast expanse stretching to where earth meets heaven in a hazy line. I lean on the rail, inhaling deep, letting the isolation seep into my bones like a bomb. Healing, they call it, for a scarred soul like mine. It's more like hibernation, curl up, lick wounds. Emerge when the world's forgotten your name. That's when I see it. A shadow flitting through the cottonwoods, down by the spring. Too fluid for a coyote's skulk, too deliberate for wind-whipped branches. My pulse kicks, hand drifting to the Colt, holstered low on my hip, instincts honed from years dodging lead in border towns. I squint against the glare, coffee forgotten as it sloshes over the rim, scalding my knuckles. They're gone, then back again, a streak of motion that uncoils into form, a woman. No more than 20 summers, I'd wager, emerging from the mist like a fever dream. Raven hair tangled with burrs and twigs, falling wild over shoulders, bared by ragged hides, stitched from deer and hunters. They cling to her like a second skin, torn at the hems, revealing flashes of tawny flesh etched with scars that twist like lightning across her arms and thighs. She moves with a grace that ain't human predatory, low to the ground, bare feet whispering over the frost without a crunch. A she-wolf in woman's skin, every sinew coiled for flight or fight. Our eyes lock across the frozen yard, hers gleaming like polished obsidian, sharp and unblinking, holding secrets I'd kill to unravel or die trying to keep. Mine, I reckon they mirror the fracture in my chest, that hollow ache where trust used to live before Cheyenne carved it out. Time stretches thin as a hangman's noose. I raise my free hand, slow, palm out, like I'd gentle a skittish Mustang fresh off the range, easy, non-threatening, though my trigger finger itches. Ain't here to harm ya, darlin', I murmur, voice low and gravel rough from disuse, carrying soft on the chill air. Just passin' through this hell myself. Got coffee if you're of a mind strong enough to wake the dead. She tilts her head, that raven mane shifting like a cascade of midnight, curiosity flickering in those dark depths like a candle guttering in a storm. Wariness wins, though her lips part on a silent snarl, teeth flashing white and filed sharp as a predator's. But there's something else there, buried deep, a plea, maybe, or recognition, like she sees the wreckage in me, the man who'd trade his soul for one clean slate. My heart stutters, unbidden, pull low in my gut, warm and treacherous, whispering of what-ifs in a life that's offered nothing but wise. Who is she? Runaway bride? Outlaw's mole gone feral? Or something wilder, born of this unforgiving land? The moment shatters like brittle ice under boot. A distant rumble rolls from the hills, low and thunderous, vibrating through the ground into my bones. Her head snaps toward it, nostrils flaring, body tensing like a bowstring drawn taut. Low snarls ripple from the tree line now, golden eyes piercing the fog like embers scattered from a dying fire. Wolves not, the lone drifter kind, but a pack, their shadows coalescing in the cottonwoods, circling closer with purpose. She meets my gaze one last beat, something raw and electric passing between us. Fear, defiance, an invitation to madness. Then she's gone, vanishing into the underbrush with a whisper of hides against leaves, leaving only the echo of those eyes haunting me. My heart hammers like a blacksmith's forge, rifle half drawn before I check myself, leaning heavy on the rail as the pack's chorus fades into the wind. Salvation or damnation? Hell if I know, but she's burrowed under my skin already, that wild beauty stirring embers I thought Cheyenne had drowned. I drained the cold coffee, grimacing at the bitterness, and wonder if this ranch's isolation is curse or cure. The prairie's vast and empty, but now it holds shadows deeper than my regrets' shadows with obsidian. Eyes and a howl that calls to the beast in me. Days bleed into one another, marked by the sun's merciless arc and the ache in my muscles from wrestling the ranch back to life. I mend the sagging corral under a sky so blue it hurts. Hammer strikes ringing like accusations. You left him to die, Wyatt. You ran. Sweat stings the old bullet scar on my shoulder, souvenir from a Comanche raid down Texas wayond. I welcome the burn. Let it scour the guilt lodged in my chest like buckshot. Nights, I lie on the bunkhouse cot, staring at rafters webbed with dust motes, replaying her face, those scars like maps of battles fought alone. That tilt of her head stirring a protectiveness I ain't felt since I was a boy shielding my ma from Poss whiskey-fueled rages. Love? Nah. Too soon for that fool's game. But curiosity, it's a hook in my ribs, tugging me toward the tree line each dawn, half hoping, half dreading she'll appear again. She's been here, though subtle as smoke,